Hi, Apple, are you listening? I hope so. Or anybody that is thinking about switching their photo organizing life over to the new Apple Photos. So I used iPhoto back in the day, maybe 2009 or so. Used it for a minute, realized, yeah, this is not really working. And ever since then, I've just been foldering stuff. I tried the Amazon solution for a second, and some other apps as well. It's just really, with all the pictures, I have not found a great solution. So with the iCloud sharing, just the idea of syncing my photos across 3 devices, and I have all Apple devices, iPad mini, a MacBook Pro, and iPhone 5. So just the idea of having the exact same pictures across all of them. Also, I was running out of space on my iPhone, and like deleting pictures to take a picture. It was getting really silly. So thought I would spend a little bit of time with the new Photos app that came with, I think, a very recent update. So in general, I'm gonna stick with it. That's I guess the thesis is that I'm probably not going to move away, but there's some things that I'm just so not happy about, which might be a deal breaker for you. So I've already kind of invested the time and syncing everything and porting everything over. So here's some things that I see as deal breakers, potential deal breakers. It's not for me because I'm already kind of invested in it and just don't have the mental capacity to think of another solution. But some things that I am just really hoping that Apple is in the process of addressing. I know that they want to make everything so simple, but some things are just stupidly simple. So without further ado, let's go into Photos. First, the name Photos. Just call it iPhoto. I feel weird just saying Photos, but I guess the Apple Watch, the Photos, okay, whatever. So let's take a look at it. Okay, first and foremost, Apple. You have a bucket called Photos and a bucket called All Photos. And I don't have the mental space to think of how these are different. You need to call them something different. One of them organizes by kind of these moments, which you call it moments on the phone. I don't know why you don't just call it moments here, and then I know what that is, or timeline or something. And All Photos, I don't even know the organizing structure. I guess it's by time, but you know what? I think this actually might be by I don't know. I deleted those two. I don't even know why those are there. This might be organized by when I uploaded it. It's not really clear. That's another thing here. I can't edit the sorting methodology on either of these. They're sorted one way. This one. It's not really clear. I think it's by when I uploaded it, because this is definitely not chronological order. So this is All Photos. There is a date show. It's kind of like hinting that it's organized chronologically, but it's not. And then this here is definitely organized chronologically, with the newest stuff at the bottom, which I would actually love to have the newest stuff at the top, like kind of everything else in the world works. But there's no way to change the sort order that I've found yet. I've even looked through the preferences and everything. So no way to change sort order either, which is sort of silly. So my first gripe is on creating albums. So here I have a wedding. So this moment, and actually this moment over here is all, or some of these pieces from over here is all part of the same, to be part of the same album. So let me show you actually how I was doing this first, because I couldn't figure out the right way to do it. So there is a right way to do it. It's actually pretty easy, but it wasn't necessarily intuitive. So how I was doing it first is I was trying to select all of these. So I was doing Shift Select across multiple moments, and then doing Command Select, Select, Select. So I was selecting the ones that I wanted to be in the album. And then I saw this plus, right? Because it kind of flashed out at me. Didn't see this guy up here at all. And I said, okay, add them to album. add this moment to album. Okay, didn't read that. Add this to album. And look what it did. It selected this whole thing here. It deselected, can't really see, believe me, it deselected the stuff up there. And it's going to create a new album by just this moment. So basically what this button does is it just adds this thing. It auto-selects these guys and you can add it to an existing album or create a new album. But that's not what I want. I want to create a new album across multiple moments. So how I do that is a little different. I have to select all of these guys. Go down here, command select, select, select. So nowhere does it show me like how many pictures I have selected. I'm going to go create album and say, that's actually not what I wanted to call that, but can I rename it? Rename album. So that's nice. See, lots of weddings. This is my life. It's wedding. Hopefully there's just one of those. Okay, so now I have all those added to an album. So now if I want to add additional stuff to that album, let's say I want to add these sketches, which is not part of Jordan's wedding, but that's okay. I can click here and add it to this album, which they basically have like this long way of doing it. So now I can go, no, Jordan's wedding, okay, and click OK. And it, no confirmation that it was actually added, which would be nice, get some feedback there. And you know what, actually I'm not sure how to take it out. Can I just right click, remove from album. Okay, that's nice. Back button. This is not where I was before. Okay, so going back did not take me back to where I was. All photos. Now, again, don't know the difference between, I meant to go back to this moments and I clicked this. So the easiest way to add new stuff, some lag there, is to actually just take it and drag it in, which I suppose is kind of intuitive if you use Finder at all, but it took me a while to get that. Duplicate, no, remove from album. So in general, it's, and then again, back, it didn't take me back to where I was. That is not cool. So can I right click? See, I can't right click. That's what I kind of wanted to do. I wanted to right click, add to album, and then select the album, but no cigar there. Okay, the other problem that I have with photos is in faces. So I really love this feature. It's kind of basically auto-detecting faces and creating albums, but you sort of have to train the system. The thing is you get into these swaths of like, I have no idea who all these people are. This is like some group shot that I have in here, probably from a wedding. It also picks up some things that are definitely not faces. So I basically want to multi-select all of these and ignore them, just clear them out. But I have to go through and ignore these one at a time. So this is about maybe 20 different faces. And this feels like it's sucking the life out of me right now. All I want to do is take this, hold shift down and select this guy and stay, ignore all of these faces, ignore this face. I don't have a face that makes sense until like right here. Those people are real people that I care about. So this almost like I basically have this big blocker here and actually using this and getting to some faces that I really do want to tag. So really just I need a multi-select here. Like I'm not going to use this really until we get a fix where I can multi-select faces. Another thing, again going back to albums, is I would like there's this favorites feature which I think is a big improvement over the 4-star system in iPhoto, like 3-star, 4-star, I don't know. It's really, do you like the picture or you don't like the picture? So I think that that's a good simplification, is creating sort of a binary liking of your pictures. But what if I want to see my favorite pictures from Australia? Like favoriting should cross over all the albums, and it doesn't do that. I have my favorites album, but what about seeing Australia and just clicking the favorites. Like, it just seems like such a no-brainer. So those are my three biggest gripes about, oh, you know what? There's a fourth one. There's definitely a fourth one. Let's go back to all photos. So some of them get the location wrong. So, no, let's go to this photo. See, this is, again, like all photos and photos, I don't know that. I forget which one is this. Why don't you call it moments? You call it moments everywhere else. So I continually get these confused. It's just, you know, it's not what I want to spend my brain power on, is determining the difference between all photos and photos. So some of these, the location is incorrect in here. Actually, let's go. I have some that came in as like China. I guess we can see places. Again, like, where's the map version? I think I like have to click on this. Yeah, a weird way to get to this map view. So if you zoom out to the whole world, no, wait, is it still not showing? Like, all my pictures. See, you know what? I really don't know how to get to a map of all my pictures. Am I missing something here? Albums. I don't know. I can't figure it out. There's probably a way to do it, but how do I see a map of my pictures? Okay. Fail. All right. So if we go back to photos, back button. See, it's weird, right? That's crazy. Okay, let's say that this really wasn't, oh, this is wrong. This is San Francisco, and it's like, this happened at home. So being the OCD person that I am, I want to be able to edit this. There's especially ones that are showing up in China, and I've never been to China, and I'm hoping, like, I want to see, and I know that there's a map somewhere that I can see all my pictures across the world, but I want these to be tagged correctly. So this was actually in San Francisco, so I would like to be able to, it should be easy. There should be, like, I hover over this and it has an edit button and I can just drop a pin somewhere. That would be the thing that makes sense. But I right-click, I click Get Info, and I can add a keyword, which I was actually using for a while to do albums because I didn't understand the albums. Like how it shows the people that are in this. That's cool. Why can't I, like, I want to drag this pin so bad to a new place, and I can't for the life of me figure out how to do it. Maybe there's a way. I don't know. So something that seems like it doesn't add any complexity, and if I go into this being able to drag and drop this thing, it wouldn't detract from the simplicity or make it harder to use for anybody else. But somebody that did want to go in this, like, just make this editable. Come on, Apple. So this is definitely, I think that Photos is erring on the side of making it very simple, but you never want to make it too simple. So there's just some very very kind of core things that I feel like are missing. Like, for example, being able to see the favorites of a certain album. Like, why not? Why not? And again, you can see there's is some performance lag here. I do have a ton of pictures, and I think I did a lot of importing yesterday, so they might still be syncing. But so if any of those are a deal breaker for you, then you might want to check out a different solution. All right, thanks.